Okay. It looks like everything's being recorded. Does it look like it's being recorded to you guys too? On Zoom and by Otter, our AI assistant. Okay, so jump over to your chat. Tell me what your win for the week has been. I've loved some of the conversations we've had over in the messenger chat for our new rising stars. But as you guys go over there, type, make those fingers fast fingers. I would love to hear what your wins for the week have been. We'll read them off. I did see possible new customer, loving watermelon collagen. I saw Lynette go live. She did awesome. She, her eyes get big. That is a feat in itself, y'all. Okay. So make sure you guys jump over there. Andrew, are you seeing anything over in the chat? Loving watermelon collagen. Anna, you can be on 15 minutes. Got to go vacation Bible school. Totally cool. You make sure you watch the recording. We will have some homework for you.
I see people sharing more about the business.
Yes. Talk to us about wins for the week for your business. I know Lynette had an enrollment. They bought the summer bundle, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can unmute yourself if you guys want to too. That's totally fine. Lena had a new enrollment. That's fantastic. That's what we want. We want you guys to be getting this out there, getting your algorithm up, getting people interested. We're trying to attract them to you, right? Through getting them interested in what you're doing, not just out there spamming them with all your product information, right? And Lena said her enrollment was after 6 talks. Girl, that's follow-up. They say 5 to 12 times before people say yes. I know. So that's awesome.
Yeah, the girl at the post office, I've been talking to her through the little box, and and then I took her some trim sticks, so maybe she'll come through.
Sample sell, y'all. Yep. Sample sell. If you can get your I remember when I was a very new partner and I would hustle for some of the different contests and stuff that are out there. Like right now, I know I did one that if you post about the watermelon collagen or get your person to post, they get entered in a drawing. And I would do all those little things and I would try to win some of the prizes and some of the free swag and product and stuff, because then I would give my product out as samples and I wouldn't have to buy it. Also, another good reason to use your rewards points. Remember, when you have subscriptions, you get reward points. 10% of whatever you spend comes back in points. You can cash those reward points in after 3 months of subscriptions that are month to month to month. And then you actually get doubles reward points on like month 4 and 7. Anyways, I would cash those in and get free product. And I would use that towards giving it to people so that, because samples sell, y'all. Samples sell. Okay. Awesome. So we are going to jump on into our week and really helping y'all with what is next. And so I know Andrew's probably going to get the notes pulled up. I am going to have to reprint them, I think, because it did not print my page off. So I will let you kind of jump in there, Andrew, for what is next while I get this print pulled up.
Sure. So you guys did the win of the week, and then I know we are looking at like our own wins. I'm curious if you guys have partners, what have your partners' wins been? People that maybe are not in here, have you been helping your partners get enrollments? Have you been getting people to look at and consider being a partner? We have a Zoom meeting tomorrow with Robin and Melissa, which, by the way, I've asked the question a couple times. Do we have a Zoom link for that somewhere that we can find? I've asked, I haven't seen it. My team's been asking. But it's an opportunity Zoom tomorrow night with Melissa and Robin, and it is at 8 Central Time, if I get the time right, finally. 8 Central Time, 7 Mountain Time. It's a great way to let customers know that they can take a sneak peek, kind of learn a little bit more, be on a fly on the wall, and hear about some of the ways, the benefits, the how comes, the whys around being a partner, getting their product paid for, getting some tax write-offs, or if they're like some of us, maybe they really would like to start supplementing their income. Maybe they want to get rid of one of their jobs. I have a gal right now, she's working 3 jobs, running her household, taking care of her parents and her daughter. She is a partner. She is definitely wanting to get rid of one of those jobs that she has. So there's all kinds of reasons why and how come we can get people. So, has anybody been getting out there and talking about the Zoom tomorrow, or was that like a surprise to you? You can drop that in the chat. Do you have a guest? I know I've been trying to get it out there. I reached out to customers, but I haven't had any takers. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. Anybody for you guys? Where can we get that Zoom link, Melissa?
The one that I'm finding is, I think, a recurring link, but I don't know, so I'm double checking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Andre, can you repeat that time for me, please? Just because I'm PST and I always jack up the time.
Oh, it'll be 6 Pacific time,
Okay.
7 Mountain time, 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
Okay. Thank you so much. And they'll post it later or something. It'll be, I'm sure, but I'm reaching out to people now.
But I'm trying to get the link to people tonight. So, tomorrow we're all working and then it happens. So, and I try to get RSVPs from people. So just like with a party or a Zoom or anything, they say, yeah, I'll be there. Then I send them the link and say, hey, you had said that you're going to be there. Can I still count on you to come? Oh, no, I can't come now. Oh, that's all right. I'll send you the recording. And then they move from my on event to my recording list. And then I go send them the recording. And then after I send them the recording, I go back and ask them, hey, when do you think you'll have time to watch the recording? Oh, I could probably watch it tomorrow. Then tomorrow I check back in. Hey, did you watch that recording? And so on and so forth. So follow up, like she already said, is huge. And it seems like it's the name of the game. Whenever I am low on my follow-ups, I'm low on my enrollments. It takes a while. Which is what we're going to actually talk about tonight. So you guys, there are 2 main things that we are focusing on for the next 90 days. Everything's going to come back to these 2 things over and over and over again. And you're probably going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is a broken record. And you can write it down if you want to, or you can say it out loud to yourself, but it's content and conversations. That's it. That's what your whole business is about. Content and conversations. Cool thing is you can do content in a huge variety of ways, and content can be face-to-face, right? It can be an event, it can be sharing something, but then there's also content that is on social media. It can be in your stories, it can be lives, it can be the static post, which is one post. It can be video that you put into a post, but authentic to you, that is in alignment with you, and it's not all one kind. So you guys have been doing the 10-day social media launch, which is really great to use when you're first getting started. Maybe it's after you've finished your 8-day jumpstart, right? You've gotten that out of the way. It's great for when you've been in the business for 30 days or more. And it's really okay to be using again, like we did, to almost like relaunch yourself and get yourself back into the swing of things. That 10-day social media launch was written where there's a variety of content. There's a little bit about your story. There's some engagement. There's a curiosity. Then there was a little bit about business. Then there was something of value where you're doing the gut check. Then there was a live where people might consume your content more because they want to see you and get to know you. And there's invitation content where you're inviting them for a conversation or inviting them to come to a Zoom, which is what you could do tomorrow for your content. The variety of content is really going to help you guys. So I'm curious, before we go any further is, what day of the social media launch are you guys on? We did this check-in with our other group, and they were given a 14-day content. I'm just sharing this with you so that you can see you're not the only one that might be in this situation. 14 days should have been finished by yesterday. And we have people that were on like day 5 because they put some other content in the middle, or they had life happen and then they were, trying to not do the stop start game, because we just want to keep, it's kind of like being in traffic. Every time you put the brake on and you're in stop and go traffic, and then you have to hit the accelerator and you feel that jolt in your car and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can't go that fast. I'm still in stop and go traffic. But if you can just keep your foot on the pedal a little bit and just kind of slowly be moving with traffic, it's actually easier to accelerate that car. Our business is the same way. But some people were on day 5, even though they should have been on day 14. So can you guys drop in the comments, what day of the social media launch are you guys on? Did you finish it? Did you do all of them? Did you go live? Did you talk about the missing link? Did you get out of your comfort zone? Are you still feeling like, oh, I don't really want to do that, I'm nervous? What day are you guys on? Drop it in the comments.
Drop it like it's hot, hot. Drop it like it's hot. Okay. I'm looking to see if anybody's putting it in there. I do know a few people were on the live.
Yeah, Shonda, that makes sense because you were in 2 groups. It's like, which one am I doing?
Okay, day 2, day 7. That's good. Day 10, but I haven't done it all yet. Skipped around. That's okay. And what I do like about this 10-day social media launch, and it is, like Andrew said, it's intended to give you a little bit of engagement, a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of experience going live, because nothing can tell your story better than that. But then it also is intended for you to talk a little bit about you're in a new venture, starting a new business with that missing link. So I think that's great. This kind of gives us an overview. So we have some that are on, some that aren't. And I did find for some of my people, talking to them individually, they didn't, and kind of looking back on their posts, they didn't realize that they were supposed to be doing those type of posts, and they got in the habit of doing other things. And so we are just trying to help you with what is shown to help and improve that algorithm. But we're going to really get into more of the specifics with those conversations here in a little bit, and how you can get people moved over into your messenger, because that's where you're going to actually have the most success to getting people to raise their hand as far as making the commitment to buy. So, and
I'm curious, which posts are easier for you guys to make? Is it where you can do a connection post where you talk about your lifestyle, your kids, your dogs, your interest areas? That's called connection content. Or is it more like value, where you want to give people a tip or a recipe or a suggestion on how they can stay on track? Maybe it's like, oh, if you can get your steps in and your water, that's called value content. Or is it where you share a testimonial from one of your groups and you talk about somebody else's story and you put their picture out there, but not necessarily yours? That's called proof content, or your story. Or is it where you tell them that you have a promo or a product that can do blank, blank, and blank, and you put in there an invitation for them to talk with you, to have a conversation? That's called invitation content. I'll say them again. Connection is like your lifestyle. It's called connection content. Then it's value, where you give them tips, recipes, something that they can use, but you're not selling. The third one is called proof content. You're giving them proof that this works, stories, testimonials, journey. The last one is invitation content, where you invite them to a conversation or invite them to an event, invite them to your group, invite them to chat. Which one is easiest, or you find yourself doing more of than any other kind?
I typed value.
I get stuck in doing value because that's my default, being a former teacher. It's really easy for me to like give tips and give a recipe and suggest help. But then the next one is probably lifestyle, connection content, where I want to connect with them, mindset, personal development, positive attitude.
Pictures of your kids.
Yeah,
Grandkids.
grandkids. My most challenging one to talk about is proof content, because I don't want to be weird and salesy and spammy. So I find myself holding back.
Bree says connection is what she does. Jamie said invitation. Tiffany says value, promos, product. And then Jamie said that she has to get better at lives. Really, life and connecting seem to be easier.
Hey, so I heard a training, and then we're going to get into the outreach part, which is the conversation part. The reason, and we didn't really talk about doing this tonight, but I'm talking about it, so I'm kind of pulling an audible here. But the reason why we're talking about it is because the 10-day social media was designed that way. And the next content challenge that we get into is even more so. And what we're learning, we being Melissa and I and anybody else that has been doing some of this training, leaders in the other group are learning that if you don't have a variety of those four kind and you get stuck with one or the other, then you are missing an opportunity to show the well-roundedness. And this is what I want you to think about. If somebody opened your wall up, you sent out a friend request and they go to look at it, are they going to, one, know why they should accept your friend request? What can you offer them? How can you help them? How can you serve them? Why would they care to be your friend? And I don't mean that to be rude, but why would they care? Right? That's the one thing you want them to think about. So if the only thing they see is testimonials, before and becomings, talking about your product, you're going to appear salesy and spammy and braggy. If you only have connection content on there, you're going to seem like a really nice person. You might, they might accept your friend request because you have something in common, but they're not really going to see you as somebody that has something to offer them in their life to change their life. And we are hope givers, life changers, and we want to provide value. So if you don't ever have anything like that, they're not going to know what you have to offer them. So they might become an unengaged lead, which is one of the hardest to go talk to because you don't even know if they're interested. And then if all you have is value, it's great. You're going to come off more like a teacher where you can teach and they're going to follow you and accept your friend request, but they're never going to buy from you because you're giving away everything for free. So they have no reason to go buy any product because you're telling them all the things that they can do. So it's the variety of those four pieces of content that is going to create a more, a better picture, if you want to think about it that way, of who you are, what you have to offer, and why they would want to get to know you and start trusting you. I'm only sharing this with you guys because that's how the 10 days is designed. That's how our next content is challenge is designed. And it is a constant challenge for me and Melissa and your uplines that may or may not be in here to do this. It takes intentionality. So I'm excited about where we're going with this. We want you guys to get out of your comfort zone. And it literally is look at the social media launch post and go replicate it the best that you can, even if it's not perfect. Perfection is overrated. Don't worry about it. Doing it wrong is better than not doing it at all. Today, I did a live, totally didn't think about it. I had nothing of value to add. So I wasn't even in a place of mind where I didn't even want to invite them to the Zoom. I could have done an invitation live. I didn't do that. I wasn't in the headspace. But I was in the headspace where I said, well, I could go live instead of doing a story. And I'm just going to ask them the question, what is it they want to know? What's their burning question? What do they wish they knew how to do for their health, their weight loss, their lifestyle? What's their question? That's what I did. And I got like 7 comments. And I didn't care. There were a lot of their customers. I don't care. Because it helped get the live out there and then more people will see it. So I'm great with my customers commenting. I think it's awesome, but I'm trying to get, other people too. So my point is I didn't do it well. I didn't do it great, but I did it. And so if you guys can do that with a social media launch, then it's going to be a lot easier to do it with what's coming next. And just kind of start thinking about those 4 kinds of posts and ask yourself, am I doing a variety of those? Am I balanced in what I'm sharing? Because somebody is on day 10 and you might be wondering, well, what am I going to do now that I'm on day 10? Well, start thinking through the lens of those 4 kinds. And tomorrow, maybe it's Thursday, do a lifestyle post. Friday, do an invitation or a proof post. Saturday, do a connection post. Sunday, do a value post. Monday, go back and do a connection post around positivity or whatever. Tuesday, go do a transformation post. Wednesday, go offer something for value and give them a wellness tip. Thursday, go do something that's uplifting because they made it through the week and think about something in your lifestyle. Friday, go do a proof post again. Do you guys see how I'm just like going through them? That's all content is. But it does have to relate to what you can offer and who you are, so that people get to know you, like you, and then trust you, and they want to, follow you, find out what you've got to share, and, start raising their hands. Last night, I had a celebration, and this is my wow win of the week, is that my downline said people are messaging them, asking them information they'd never talked to before. And that means the content is working. And they've been consistently doing this for 6 months. So just because we've been doing it for 10 days, kind of, sorta, doesn't mean you're going to all of a sudden have people come out of the woodwork. So now that's what we're going to do with outreach. And Melissa's going to kick us off by telling us a story of what she did and why she thinks it worked that helped her to build organically and grow her team to a platinum executive team. So I don't know if you guys know what platinum executive means. I don't even know that I know, but I think typically it means you're bringing in about $200,000 a year. You're a 6-figure income earner. It means that you are beyond being a team builder. You are now a leader of an organization. I am not in Melissa's downline. We collaborate because we bring different strengths to the table, and I want what she has in my life. So she's mentoring me. I still work with my upline. I still get mentoring from my upline, but it's different with Melissa. So she's going to tell us a story. She told me this story 2 days ago, and I'm like literally hearing her story in my head every day.
Oh,
It's making me really uncomfortable, but I keep listening to it. So you guys, it's your turn to hear her story.
okay. Well, so a couple of things. One is when you're being authentic, even when you're reaching out, the best thing for you to do is to be honest and direct. Okay, authentic outreach, it leads with problem solving. And it also kind of helps you audition prospects, which means you kind of ask questions in. So I will tell you, when I first started sharing about Zingular, I would actually go through my Facebook with intention of looking for needs, especially that women had, young moms. That was my target market. My kids were, and I started Zingular, my kids were 5 and 1. So people in my shoes is who my target market was. Women looking to lose weight, that were maybe busy moms, that were having to eat the snacks off their kids' table because they didn't even have time to fix dinner for themselves, much less take a bath or, have any time for themselves, right? And so I was looking for women that were struggling, that were talking about being busy, that were talking about not being able to lose weight or carrying around that baby weight, that were talking about maybe struggling with inflammation or pain. I personally, sorry, was I had a car accident, and so I was dealing with inflammation. I was dealing with a lot of chronic pain, and so I was looking for people that were talking about headaches, that were talking about stress, because I knew our products solve those problems, right? And I wouldn't, when somebody would post something about, that they were struggling with energy, or they just couldn't keep up, they were a toddler mom or whatever, then I would talk to them in the messenger, but I wouldn't say, hey, I saw that you were really struggling with energy and I have something for you. I wouldn't do that. I would talk to them first about where they were at. Hey, how's it been going? Tell me about your journey. Tell me about being a mom. How old are your kids? Start to connect and then lead into that. And I'll tell you, Candace is on here, Candace Fredericks, and I reached out to her because I saw a while back she was doing attraction marketing, which is exactly what this is all about. And I said, hey, how's it going? Same concept. I knew she must have a problem because she was in some of the same groups that I was in, trying to learn the content and get a plan together and know what to do, right? Having goals. And I'm like, what's going on? So then, boom, bam, she's here because she wants to learn. She wants to be a part of things. But it all started with that initial conversation, being honest, direct, but then also talking about problems that they might have, or noticing that they had a problem, and then going back and creating that authentic connection so that we could talk about that. You will find that when you use authentic outreach, you're going to have more sales. You're going to get more recruits. You're going to feel more hopeful and empowered, and you're going to have a lot more fun in your business. So you got to kind of think about, what are the reasons why you started with Zingular? So does anybody want to volunteer with maybe why they reached out initially to get started on the products? Because these are the problems that we can solve. And you guys can unmute if you want.
Energy.
Yep.
Energy.
So
And weight loss. But
yeah.
energy.
So to expand on that a little bit, you could either go to like AI, ChatGPT, whatever, ask, okay, what are some ways to describe needing more energy, right? And then that AI system's gonna tell you, being able to stay alert on different things. So to give you all these ideas, those are the things you're gonna want to look for. So Andrew typed over there: energy, inflammation, weight loss, sleep, confidence. Okay, your best target market is the person that you were when you reached out. Menopause, possibly, right?
So what I hear from Melissa when she shared that with me was that I heard her say she looked for people who were posting about things they were frustrated with, and people do that using a sense of humor, right? Like the silly graphics, the memes, they're laughing at themselves or the situation because that's a coping mechanism, because if you can laugh about it, you can deal with it a little bit better. But there's some truth behind the joke, right? So that's one thing you can look for. Or it could be a mom that's frustrated with her kids, or in my situation, It's going to be women who are super busy, career minded, want to lose weight, literally cannot pinch two pennies together to make sure that they take care of their bills. Now, a lot of people my age are not going to share that stuff in a post. That's something I've learned. They're not putting it out there. They're very prideful. My generation, we just don't talk about it. We just deal with it. So I know I have to look a little bit further for that. But that's what I heard her say, was that she looked for people that were posting like that. And then she could reach out, start a conversation with them. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I see that you're struggling with the same thing that I am. You know, I would love to connect on, you know, what kinds of things you've been trying, because I know I've been trying a few things. How's it going for you? Like, we don't have a script for that, right? That's just, you know, being a person. But tonight we're actually going to look at a script. So when Lena says, I have a hard time going from content to messenger, guess what? We're going to give you the secret sauce for that tonight. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Can I ask another question?
Mhm.
So I have found that like I'm just gonna be very transparent. I know I shouldn't judge somebody's pocketbook. But there's people who come across in my stream that I'm like, I wouldn't even break bread with them. Do I really want to have a conversation? So how do I move away from that stuff?
Unfriend them and don't message them and don't like their stuff.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say. They're
So
not
I'm doing
ideal
that, but
people.
how do I get out of like, I feel like I'm kind of stuck in this like community of individuals that like,
You
how
know,
do I get out of that?
this came up on a call. I'm in a coaching group just for a few more weeks. This question came up from a gal, and it goes back to your content and what you're putting out there.
Okay.
And I don't know what you're putting out there, but she said, make sure that what you're putting out there in content is who you want to attract. So like, I've had to elevate my content a little bit with what I talk about, in that I am talking about positive attitude, forward thinking, being mindful, having quality time with my grandchildren, loving to travel, because guess what? I'm looking for women who want time with their grandchildren, want to travel, want to have the income, they like the trips, they like fashion. They're willing to take initiative to change their circumstances, and they'll find a way to figure it out. As a matter of fact, my affirmation that I haven't been doing for a long time is, I am looking for women who will work hard, take initiative, want to change their lives, and Zingular is a way to make that happen. That's
Okay.
my affirmation. So I think through that lens for my content. So I'm not saying your content is bad, but just go look at it and look at it through the lens of like, who could I be attracting? Am I attracting the, oh, woe is me? Or am I attracting the other? And I will tell you, even though I've elevated that content, guess what? I still have a lot of people who are freaking broke, because I started talking to them 2 or 3 years ago. So they're still following me, but I can position myself in the conversations now a little bit better and say, well, we all know nothing's going to change if nothing changes. So are you, I actually start asking the question now, are you open to eating differently? Are you open to changing your lifestyle? Are you open to looking at a way that you can feel better, although it might be different? Are you willing to do that? And if they say to me, not really, then I'm done, because they're not there. And I'll literally say, well, that's okay. You know where you're at. And that's good that you know where you're at. When you're ready, you let me know. And I'm here to help when you're ready.
I think that's wonderful information. So thank you so very much. And Kelly did just send out the link, I believe, for tomorrow. She sent something because I invited somebody.
Yay.
Let me see if I can get in the
So
chat.
we're going
Want
to
me to?
segue right now, just because I'm looking at time. Melissa, I put the new success planner in the board. I also put it in our chat tonight. but I'm showing it now. So do you want to kind of, do you want to take the lead on this or did you want me to? I can't remember.
It's all right. So, you guys have your new success planners in your resources and, your Google Doc, right? That's one place it is. It's also in the boards if you have that. I know some people don't have boards. You don't have to have boards to get this success planner. But the main page we're going to look at that's in your little planner is our daily activities. We call them income producing activities or IPAs. You're going to learn on some of this lingo language as you do your singular business. But the truth is, most of these terms are people would be familiar with no matter what network marketing they're in. Okay. But an IPA is just an activity that you do on a day-to-day basis that moves the needle forward in helping you have good conversations, get better at knowing what to say to people, following up with people, reaching out to people, connecting with people, things like that, that ideally is going to lead to sales for you and lead to invitations so you can invite people to join you in the product or the business. So, the daily tasks that you see, the first thing that we already kind of talked about, your content. You're going to have a daily post on your Facebook, your Instagram. You're going to do connection value, and we talked a little bit more about what that looks like. So that's your first thing. Check. You did your daily post, right? If you did the 10-day social media launch, you followed those, check, right? Your next thing is going to be hot leads outreach. What this is you've got to go back through your content for the last 14 days.
We're going to do this tonight together, just so you guys know. Okay.
And these are going to be people that have commented, liked or loved on any of your Singular type posts. Your story is a big one. Your before and afters that you're posting of people, the proof content is a big one. Some of the connection is. Now, the connection that I generally post is about my lifestyle, family. I did one today. It was a connection one about remodeling our house and being able to do that. I don't know how many likes, loves, and all that I'm going to get on there, but they might all be singular people saying, great, great job. So what that means is that means, if those people are currently ordering and they're my current customers, of course, I'm going to go back and build a little bit of relationship, but I may not work a lot of those hot leads. I may have to move more into my warm lead market. And I will tell you, I work a lot in my warm lead market and I work a lot in my cold market now. But when I first started and where you guys are at, if you were following those 10-day social media launch, or you have a new partner that is following that 10-day social media launch, they're going to mostly be hot leads. Okay. I know when Lena first started, that's one reason why she hit Silver Manager so fast. She had done posts, she had shared stuff, and she got into her hot market really fast. And then people signed up. Right. So, you'll still see people responding to and being a hot lead, honestly, for about 2.5 years, depending on how many people you know. Okay. I've done this now 10 years. I don't know. I mean, there's still probably a few people in my hot market that don't know what I do, but for the most part, most people know what I do. Okay.
So we're going to get into, I'm looking at time, Melissa. So we're going to get into how to use this for authentic outreach. So inside of your success planner, you have this engaged leads tracker. Engaged leads are people that comment, like, and love, what she was just talking about. And we are going to actually start filling this out for just a few minutes because it's going to then move into authentic outreach. And then we're going to actually do some outreach tonight. So we're going to, how you fill this out is when you contact them, you can put like a note or a date, but for now, you're going to actually fill out their name. What was the type of post or the date of the post? And if you do more than one post a day, you're going to want to put the date and, what it was about. What was their engagement type is going to be a general comment. Like, we get the comments of, oh, that's great information. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Good job. Congratulations. Those are just general comments. But there also could be more of a specific comment like, I need this in my life. I want to know more. Can you tell me how they did this? That's a very specific comment. And there's two different kinds. And then we don't know the answer to these three columns. We don't know problem. We don't know if they want help or how they want help. And we don't have the next step figured out. So these last three columns right here, we're not filling out right now. All we're going to fill out is name, post, and engagement type. For example, we're going to go over here and we're going to look at mine, which really stinks right now because I cannot comment. So this post is a proof post. And it's proof that you can feel better, proof that you can turn back the clock. I've got a drip in there of product. So that's another proof, part of why it's a proof content. And then I didn't really do an invitation though. I just said, you know, drop a, you know, dancer if you want to fight your age, because I'm trying to see who my people are. So if I go to view comments, I would look to see who were the people that engaged. And I will tell you right now, the only one on here that I would write down in my log is Karen Yates. And she and I have talked in the past, but it's really like intermittent, like every 6 months she pops up. So I'd write down the date that it was on anti-aging or collagen, and that this is a very specific comment. She's asking about getting back on track. Budget is a concern, but she wants to do something. So I actually kind of already know what her problem is as well. But everybody else, I'm not even going to write them down because they're partners. There's no reason to write them down. Then I can go and I can glance at who is in my likes and loves list. I can click on it. It will open up and I can see Gina Cooper would be one person that I would write down. Myra Simmons, Dresden Palms, April, Debbie, Claudia, Barbara. Those are the people I would write down. Everybody else, I already know they're a partner, they're a weirdo, or they are a customer. And I'm not going to spend the time on this post with customers right now because this is about new enrollments. So I would write them down on the list. You guys are going to do the same exact thing right now for the next 5 minutes. You're going to look at, and if you don't have the success planner and all you have is a notebook, piece of notebook paper, you're going to, you know, pull an audible. And that means you're just going to grab a piece of paper and fill it out and make it look like the one in the success planner and not let that be a obstacle. We're always, you know, removing obstacles. And where'd it go? All you need to do is just grab a piece of paper and make it look like this. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. You want to start with your most recent post. But the task that you will continue outside of this is you will actually do this for up to the last 2 weeks. And the goal here is so that you can see you have a lot more leads than you think you do. We all have a lot more leads than we think we do. So 5 minutes and writing these down. I'm going to leave this up on the screen.
Okay. And just a tip, it's always good when we're doing these working sessions, have your phone and your Zoom on. That way you can work from your phone while we've got sharing the screen or vice versa. Or have an iPad and either way.
We did
Okay.
this the other.
So somebody mentioned earlier in our Zoom, that they were having a hard time getting their content to transition into messages on Messenger. And so that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about tonight, because sometimes it does take you making the first move, the first step, right? So, think back to a time where you really wanted something, or you had something. Like, I would think about when I wanted my husband to date me. Well, believe it or not, I kind of made the first move. We were, so you have to think about this is, you're wanting people to enroll with you. You're wanting people to use these products and have the great success that you had, whether you're getting more energy, you're feeling better, stuff like that. So part of that's going to be, you're going to have to go back and engage with those people that are either the hot leads or the warm leads, or you're going to have to reach out. So, with authentic outreach, there are a few factors, and I had mentioned this earlier. It's got to be honest and direct, lead with problem solving, and help you addition prospects. But we also want to start, a lot of times I saw somebody else say, a lot of the people that are commenting on their posts right now are their current customers. I think Jamie said that, Jamie Mann did. She said a lot of her current people are, they're mostly partners and customers commenting on your posts. That's okay, because your authentic outreach can be to them to build relationship. And honestly, the very first people to feel good reaching out to are going to be your current customers. And what a better time to start reaching out to them and re-engaging than now, when we have two things to offer. Additional products that aren't always for sale, because we have our summer bundle, right? They can't always get that. If they enrolled with you in January, they couldn't get watermelon collagen in January. Okay. Also, right now we have an opportunity Zoom every other Thursday at 8 p.m. It's going to be the same link. I found out that link is going to be the same. So you can save the link that you have today, that we gave you today, for tomorrow night's Zoom at 8 o'clock Central. Save it for the next one, which will be in July, the second Thursday of July, which is going to be the 11th. Okay, it's going to be the same link every time. So every other week, we're going to be reaching out to people to join us about the opportunity. The best people to initially invite are going to be your current customers. Okay, so your authentic outreach that you're going to have is going to, initially, we're going to probably have you reach back out to those customers. Okay. So real quick, here's some information just on why it matters. And this is in the link that we left for you guys. There's a link over in your messenger chat for this Rising Stars. Andrew dropped it to you earlier today, and this is the workbook or worksheets that we're going over. But 3 factors to consider is it honest and direct? Does it lead with the problem solving and help you audition people? Okay. And right now we're helping you get partners. It's the best place to start is your current customers. So that's okay, Jamie, that they're mostly partners and customers, because those are going to be your first partners. Okay. Or your first partners hit quick start or manager. You want managers. Okay. So your authentic outreach scripts, we've put some scripts here. We also added scripts to the boards. And these are for what you could say to people that are maybe in your hot leads. And it's important that you start using these scripts exactly the way we present them here. Okay. It's kind of interesting, but as we've taught this to people, if you go off too much, you're not going to get the results you're looking for. You've got to stick to the reach outs. So the opening message is blank, hey, blank, do you have a few minutes? I have a few questions I wanted to ask you. Wait for the response. And I do like to send a lot of these by voice message, by the way.
Hey, Melissa, just for the sake of tonight, I've moved already into them talking to their engaged leads versus their customers.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't.
That's okay, sweetie. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page, because we're going to use that list that we just created, and we're actually going to go do an outreach tonight.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So on your engaged leads, there's going to be a little bit of a different script for you guys to go over. Okay. And it's going to be, making sure that you figure out what their problems are, that you figure out a little bit more of what you're gonna say. So this is the general message on the what you would comment back to people on your post initially. We talked to that about Shonda the other day. And what you could even say in your messages.
You want me to help with this?
Yeah, because I think I've got the wrong printout and I can't really read
Okay.
it. on the
No
thing.
worries. Is it hard for all of you to see?
I might have to make my computer screen bigger.
Okay, so this is real easy. Remember how I said they have a general comment like, oh, that's so, or, thanks for sharing, or I appreciate that, or whatever. A general comment is, hey, Susie, thanks for taking the time to comment on my post, and you have to name the post. So like for me, when I wrote my list, you guys, and I don't know if you can see this, let's see. I made it where I put because I was trying to do it on scratch paper. I did it where what the post was and who they were and if they liked or loved and what was the comment. And then I did the next post and then these were the people that commented. Where am I already at? And then I was starting my likes and loves. And I did it that way because I didn't have my sheet in front of me. So if somebody had a general comment like, Nova Cassidy said very specific comment that she does not drink enough water on the weekends because I did a post that elicited them to tell me what their struggle is. I've gotten really good at asking people what their pain points are, and they're literally telling me their pain points on my content. It's making it very easy for me to go talk to them. If you guys want to, you can go look at my posts. We don't have to be friends. You can just go look at them and see. But if it was a general comment, you'd say, hey, thanks for taking the time to comment on my post about undoing the weekend and curing your weekend hangover. I'm curious, what are you currently doing in this area for yourself? How's it going with not undoing your weekend, undoing your week with your weekend? A specific comment where somebody says, on the weekend, I don't drink enough water. Hey, Susie, thanks so much for leaving that comment on my post about not drinking enough water, and it makes the weekends hard, and then Monday it makes it more difficult for you. I'd love to learn more about what you shared about not getting enough water. Tell me what's going on. Are you just really busy? What's happening in your life? So I might add a little bit because she told me water, right? But it's really okay to say to somebody, I'd love to know more about what you said. That alone will elicit a conversation. It's actually a trick that teachers use with students in the classroom all the time to make kids to talk. Tell me more about what you just said. And then they're like, oh, okay, I have to explain myself. Now, if they like or love the post, this is a great one. We've had several success stories with this liked or love the post. You guys are not going to believe this. It's as simple as saying, hey, Susie, thanks for the time to love my post the other day about undoing the weekend. It lets me know that people are actually paying attention and you can see my content. How have you been? That's all it is, you guys. This is a much easier way to do something like the 333 without being weird and salesy. We're not directly asking them anything about helping them, about anything. We're literally just asking them, how have they been? Because we don't know what they need or what they like or what they love. We just, we don't know. So it's going to be a little bit conversational, right? Oh, I've been doing okay. We've been really busy with the kids. We're taking lots of trips. Well, we've been kind of sick, blah, blah, blah. And, you're going to have to meet them where they are a little bit, but you don't want to live in the conversational, connection place too long. What I would call the friend zone. You've got to move into that directness. Otherwise, if it goes on too long and then you get into the direct message, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start not trusting you. What were you going to say, Melissa?
I was going to say, they're going to start ignoring you. I'm ghosting you.
They're going to be like, she just started the conversation because all she wants is something from me. And people are so conditioned to watch this now. So if you stay in that friend conversation too long, it's harder for you to transition into why you're wanting to talk to them. And it feels really icky. And it feels icky to them. So it's much better to be like, hey, I'm curious. What are you currently doing right now in this area? So remember, it's a post where you're actually giving them some value, proof, testimonial, something like that. So you can actually ask the question. That's why it doesn't work as well with just connection content. Okay. It's actually like proof, value, or an invitation, product, something like that. Here's another example. I'm curious, what made you like or love my post the other day on blank? Was there anything specific that you related to? If you wanted to, you could say, or, you can say, was there anything specific? But I would say anything specific that you related to. So you guys, bottom line is you are auditioning the prospects. Guess what happens when you are the one asking the questions? It's a pretty cool thing that happens. Anybody want to unmute and say what you think happens when you are the one asking the questions? You're the one auditioning. You're the one guiding the conversation. Do you guys know what happens emotionally with you? Anybody have an idea?
I think your confidence gets bigger.
Totally. You nailed it, Sabrina. Your confidence is better. You're the one speaking from authority. You're the one now taking control, but we still have not sold anything to them. All we're doing right here is asking more about their pain points. How are they doing? We're finding out the problem. So remember that chart, the very first column was problem. We're just uncovering the problem. So we're going to put the problem in there once they share it with us. And then we can go a little deeper. Well, tell me more about that. I'm really curious. I would love to know more. What have you tried? What are some things that you're hoping to accomplish? What would you like? What do you need? So questions are really great. And if you can do them a little bit more open-ended, but you're guiding the conversation towards your product, then you can transition into this. What do you find to be the biggest challenge in this area? That's where you're finding the problem. The next one, look how easy this question is, you guys, you're going to freak out. Would you like some help? You're not going to try to fix it. You're actually going to ask them if they want some help in this area. And when somebody says, yes, I want help, all of a sudden, we don't feel like weird, salesy, icky, spammy people that are shoving products down their throat. We instead feel like we are a service provider helping them solve a problem, and we will be in alignment with how we feel about what we know Zingular can do. And you are Zingular. Just so you know, when I say Zingular, you are Zingular. You are the face of the company. So that's how they're going to look at you. You're the one that's going to help solve their problem. So guess what we're going to go do? We're going to go practice right now. We're going to start with just the opening messages. I'm going to have just these 3 up here because it's kind of hard to put all of them in. And most of us have more likes or loves than we do comments. And I don't even have to ask you guys. I just know that's already true. So you may find that you start with your likes or your loves. And that's what Melissa said. She said that she actually works with her warm market, which is her likes or loves, more than her hot market, which is her comments, because a lot of the comments are from customers or partners. So she goes straight to her. I'm in the same position. So I have a ton more likes and loves than I do comments. So that's where I'm going to go first. We're going to put 10 minutes on the clock. And this is the thing, you have to use the script. The win here, you guys, when you ask, how have you been? You might be surprised that somebody literally tells you everything you need to know in their response.
Mhm.
That I'm exhausted, I have no energy, I feel horrible in my own skin, I've been sick for 3 weeks and I can't figure out what's going on, and I sure would love to lose this 20 pounds. And the reason why they're going to open up like that is because you've been doing such a good job with your content. They kind of already know where this conversation is probably going, but the how have you been is a great opening. So don't be surprised if they unload, and then you have to hold back from wanting to fix it right away. And you're going to ask, well, what is the biggest challenge in this area of energy? What's the biggest problem that you're having right now with losing 20 pounds? Why do what is the biggest challenge that you have with sleep? And then you listen and you ask, would you like some help? Okay. These are in boards, but right now they're just right here. So we're going to put 10 minutes on the clock because it's almost 8 o'clock on my end, which means we're almost at our 1.5 hours. And we do want to try to be done at 1.5 hours. We'll open it up for questions, of course, but we want you guys to go practice. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that it's all in one little page for you. There you go. At least I caught it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank goodness.
Okay, so I want you guys to know where this is headed. In the Experienced Rising Stars, they're actually working on all of these different kinds of authentic outreach now, and they're starting to track how are they doing with the outreach. So we are just dipping our toes into like the very beginning. Tiffany asked if you can have this PDF. It's already shared. I shared it earlier before our meeting in the chat. So it's in there and I pinned it. It's also in boards under week 3. I made a folder today, and then Melissa will put the recording in when it's available. And then your homework is to continue this. This needs to be on your daily IPA. So if we go back and we look at that IPA sheet, right up here, you guys, in the very, very top was your post. Your hot leads outreach are going to be really, it's your comments. We probably need to update this now that we know more. This is your comments on your Zingular type posts. Your warm leads are going to be your likes or loves on your Zingular type posts. We should probably update this. And so you could put your people down there, and the bare minimum of this is going to be at least 1. And it counts as 1 when they talk back with you. They communicate. So you might have to do 5 of them to get 1 person to reply back. And then we're going to be moving into value-based follow-ups with customers, prospects. We're going to be moving into unengaged leads, which is what Melissa was talking about in the beginning. So I just want you guys to see where it's evolving to, but for this week, the goal is continue with your connection with your posts and do your authentic outreach using the script that we practiced tonight. And then you can look at the one for customers. That's fine. You can start playing around with it if you want to. Did I miss anything for our homework, Melissa?
No, but I will tell you, so like Sabrina, when you had someone ask you how, that is a hot lead because they are reaching out to you. They're commenting or asking. And even if it comes to you through the DMs instead of on your post, it is a hot lead. But that's also where if you're a brand new rising star and you're not feeling comfortable having conversations, you should move it into a 3-way message. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do that tonight. You're right.
But if you do feel comfortable moving forward with conversating, especially if it's somebody that's a relative or a friend, a close friend, then you can move into that. But you should ask questions first because the person asking the questions. So you don't just jump to the how. You say, you do just like, you had said, and you said, well, I'd love to share with you how, I've lost weight or been able to overcome XYZ. But first, tell me a little bit about what makes you curious. Are you, is there something you're struggling with? Right? Ask the question and then get into the details. Remember, you can overshare information, especially because we love our product so much. We can, bleh. Don't do that. You want to
Got it.
ask questions about them first.
I
Got
put this in boards because I remembered that Melissa and I were going to try to talk about it tonight, but it's 8 o'clock and we will stay on for a little bit longer, but we want to honor your time. I did put this in boards for those of you that have it, because I think most people do have it, that sometimes it's hard to transition like to a three-way chat. And so I wrote this one up. You may hate it. You might want to change it. But when they say like their problem and that they're struggling with it, and you want to go right into a three-way chat because you're still pretty new, you could try something like this. Great. I felt the same way that you did. You connect with them. Like I felt the same way that you did. I was exhausted. I was tired. I felt like I looked at food and I didn't even have to eat it and I would gain weight. Menopause was really hard on me and I kind of felt like I knew what to do, but I wasn't losing anything. So now I get to help busy women who want to feel better faster without breaking the bank by using a simple system with some all natural supplement support and a simple food plan. And then I would say, I would love to tell you some more. I'll put some more in here. I'd love to tell you some more and answer your questions. My friend is actually helping me with this. I'd love to introduce you guys so that I can make sure I answer your questions as well. So I'll put another one in here. But we were trying to brainstorm some things that you guys can use or say. Do you guys have ideas? What do you guys do right now currently to transition from a one-on-one conversation to a three-way chat? What do you guys do that works, or what do you have your partners do? Anybody? Some people are still working because they are so excited about what they're doing. That's good. I can tell Jamie's working. Okay, well, we can keep going on with that. It's 8 o'clock. So if you guys have questions, we're going to open it up to a few questions because you stayed on till the end, but otherwise we're going to let you go and wish you the best for the week. Finishing out the month strong.
And you're welcome, Jamie.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Where can I print off the success tracker?
It's in the chat, pinned. I put it in there today.
Okay,
And it's in the board that's titled New Rising Stars.
okay.
I'm sorry, but I don't have the chat. I'm not in the chat. I just got the link from Nancy Gordon. I don't have the chat. And
You need to
the
add
board
you to the chat. So is Nancy in it? Let me
or the
find out.
boards.
Do you have boards, my friend?
I
Tiffany?
do. I do.
Hold on just a second.
I think I can find you. Tiffany, what's your last name?
Williams.
She's my buddy.
Oh, that's awesome. We're excited that you're here. Did you enjoy tonight?
I did.
Nancy's in our chat. I think you just need to ask Nancy to add you to the chat.
Okay. All right. I can do that.
And then in the chat, when you get in there, you can scroll up and you'll see the link to the board and everything, because we've tried to keep it all in one place where people
Okay.
have access to everything. And then the same thing is true. Like if you didn't get to watch any of the other recordings and you want to kind of you know, play catch up and you feel like this was helpful to you and you like where this is going and this is going to be supportive of, you know, your growth, then you can put them on hyper speed and catch up on those Zooms and see them.
Okay. All right, I appreciate it.
I was
But yeah,
actually able to add you, Tiffany, but let me
Oh,
show
cool.
you. I wonder if I can on the Zoom. But it is really important if your upline hasn't gone through the new stuff, tell them, hey, come over here and do this with me. You know, but I also think it's important for you to go back and watch the
Okay.
recordings. I'm gonna switch this real quick so I can share my screen. Okay, so what I wanted to do really quick is share my screen so you guys can see this. So if you want,
You
because I
don't
never,
see your screen, Melissa, honey.
okay, do you see it now?
Yes, we do now.
Okay, so a couple of things. So over in Messenger, okay, just so you know, if you guys just touch the top of your Messenger, it takes you to this page where you can, it says the name and everything, and then you can scroll down and see all the pinned messages. Okay. So here's the recordings, and then here's the Google Docs that she was talking about with the 10-day social media launch. You kind of have to do the social media launch so you have all these engaged leads, and then here's the authentic outreach, right? And then here's the pinned the Zoom link so that we all have it all the time. Okay.
Now, I clicked on my pin where it says video media
Mm-hmm.
links. I clicked on it and nothing came up and showed.
Under your pinned messages.
I've been
Yes.
having a hard time too. When I went to go pin messages, it was blank. So I don't know if it was a messenger update or what, but I've had the same problem.
So I need to update my app Messenger. Do you think?
Maybe.
I don't know because my phone gets updated all the time and they're gone. It's almost like after the update, it disappeared. It was very weird. Tiffany, are you able to go to the chat on our Zoom right now?
Yes.
I put the link to the board in our chat right now. If you can click on that. Now, the
Okay.
hard part is that if you don't have the paid version, you can only have a total of 3 boards,
Right.
and that makes it hard. So that's why we're trying to put everything in one place. And then
Okay.
we have a document that we have for everybody for them to share their posts. And you can actually link your post to this document. It's part of our accountability. We haven't looked at it. We didn't look at it tonight, but we will. But it's been a place that people can go link their posts that they're doing into this document so that we can look at it and get some support and help. Like Shonda, she needs a prize. Melissa, will you write that down?
Yeah, because she's been
She has
posting.
she has only missed like maybe 2 or 3 days that she has not linked her post to the document. She's taking it very seriously. And then, yeah, she's definitely, and then Jamie is right there with her on most of them as well. But Shonda has been consistent since the beginning. So we should do a prize for her next week.
All right.
So if you click on that link in the chat there, that's the Google Doc where you can actually, you know, do you know how to take your Facebook post and link it? Have you ever seen how to do that, Tiff? Yeah, okay. It's kind of good because you can go look at what other people have been putting. So it just, I don't know, it helps with idea generation. it's not like accountability, you know, where we're the teacher and you're the student. It's more like accountability to yourself that you're following through. And then it's nice that you can go look at some other people's examples. All right, well,
Thank
if you guys
you.
don't, yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think we're gonna wrap it up, right, Melissa?
Yep.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a
You're
good night.
welcome.
Good luck with your cousin.